What's up, lovelies? Welcome to the Making of Emma, a series of videos I intend to do on a regular basis to keep you updated about the process of adapting Jane Austen's Emma into a graphic novel, Duniath Comics style. This is the first episode, so we're going to be talking about the adaptation of the script and a little bit about the layout of the panels. I hope you like it. Of pages and panels. When it comes to adapting Jane Austen, there are always many dangers along the way and dozens of questions that begin to assault one's mind with very little mercy, the most important being, who would dearest Jane be turning in her grave? In this video, I would love to share with you a little bit about my process of writing the script for the graphic novel, which has been quite the adventure. Disclaimer, this is not a rule book, this is just how I personally approach things when adapting. It is an interpretation. I am the type of person that has learned to enjoy an adaptation for what it is, an interpretation of a source material reimagined by someone else. I have always found people who say, well, the book is much better, to be very tiresome. Some people tend to forget that an adaptation does not have the purpose of erasing the original, which lives forever for you to enjoy over and over again. No. An adaptation seeks to translate the work into a different medium with its own rules, language, and audience. I am one who thinks that the best adaptation is the one that succeeds at making the work accessible for the generation it's designed for. For example, people who were young in the 90s might feel much more connected to Douglas McGrath's Peacefully Warm Highbury than to Autumn de Wilde's Instagram-ready, gorgeous Regency pastel world, and that is totally fine. Generations change, and with them change the language, the aesthetics, the social needs, and the relevance of a topic. Austen's works are so masterfully written that we can get away with stretching them, modifying them, reimagining them, and retranslating them to different media through the ages, and they will always manage to deliver, despite the liberties, despite the newness. At the end of the day, what matters is that we are keeping her works alive and constantly rekindling the interest in learning more about her and the world of her beloved novels. Thinking in panels. Graphic novels are a very visual medium. Just like in the movies, the story is told through a collection of images, frames, and camera angles represented in panels that drive the plot very similar to a storyboard, and supported with the use of text in the form of speech balloons, captions, and other types of lettering. This is why I normally write my scripts at the same time I speculate the page's layout, cause they go hand in hand. There are a lot of things to consider when it comes to planning a graphic novel for publication. For example, page numbers are extremely important. This is because by press request, your final page count must be divisible by 4. This is because in what is called the perfect binding process, commonly known as soft cover or paperback, as well as in the case binding process, commonly known as hardcover, pages are actually printed on a large parent sheet, which is trimmed, folded, and opened up to create a final product. So, a set of 4 pages is made of one large piece of paper that is folded and opened up. So this is why it must be divisible by 4, and it's extremely important to take that in consideration when you're planning the entire layout of the novel. Because of this, it is crucial to write a script that would fit a sensible number of pages to make the printing process affordable, which brings us to the big question: how much Austen is enough? Emma is not precisely a short novel, and as a Janeite, I do struggle when I have to choose what to keep, what to trim, and what to let go. However, as I mentioned before, my adaptation is not trying to rewrite the classic, and I have to make peace with the fact that adaptations are, in a way, a much simpler, summarized version of the masterpiece. This, of course, represents a huge challenge. The graphic novel must be able to tell Emma's story panel after panel with enough dialogue to keep as much Austen as possible, but without forgetting that the medium calls for special emphasis on visual storytelling. When writing a page, I tend to draft in my mind or quickly on my tablet an approximate of what each page is intended to cover in terms of paneling, text, and illustrations, and I break the dialogue in the script to roughly compose the page, even if it needs a few tweaks and changes in the future. For example, here we have 2 pages of the script in which I have already planned the page's layout. I describe what each panel illustrates, and I try to sort out the dialogue in between panels, trying my best not to clutter the page, but offering enough material to move the story forward. You do not want excessive speech balloons covering your beautiful art. As you can see, page 3 is focusing on how Emma and Mr. Woodhouse are coping with Miss Taylor leaving Hartfield, with enough dialogue to make the situation clear, but without copy-pasting every single word written in the novel. Page 4, on the other hand, has no text at all. A full-page panel is being used to introduce one of the most important characters in this story, and come on, we can all agree that Mr. Knightley deserves a full-size page to enter a graphic novel. No words are needed. He is gallant, handsome, and elegant as he crosses fields and bridges, so by the time we turn the page and see him entering Hartfield, we have visually established that his home at Donwell Abbey is within walking distance, and he enjoys a bit of exercise when paying calls to the Woodhouses. The combination of dialogue-driven pages with wordless full-size illustrations surely makes for much more dynamic visual storytelling, and that is precisely what we want in a graphic novel. There's so much going on with the people of Highbury that one must be careful to give everyone their chance to shine. Harriet and Robert, Frank and Jane, Miss Bates and her mother, the Eltons, everyone is an important piece of Austen's gorgeous and intricate puzzle, and we want to do them justice. So yes, there is more to designing a page and adapting a huge novel into a shorter medium than what I am sharing here, but I hope that this video gives you enough details on how everything must walk hand in hand in order to glue it all together. As I move forward with the process, I will be delighted to share more about panel layouts, thumbnailing, lettering, character design, color palettes, and all of those devilish details that are making this project come together. But for now, I sincerely thank you for passing by, and as always, I am much obliged to you for the love and support, and see you next time!